It was supposed to be a completely normal day off the coast of California. The weather was perfect, the ocean was calm, and conditions were ideal for exploring the rich marine life in the area. An experienced diver was making her way through the blue, surrounded by massive, migrating schools of fish. She had spent years navigating these waters and saw nothing unusual about the environment. But sharing that same stretch of water was a humpback whale. These animals can grow up to 60 feet long and weigh 40 tons, and on this particular day, this giant was hunting. Beneath the surface, the diver's quiet morning was on a direct collision course, with the blind mechanics of a predator searching for its next meal. As she floated in the water, she noticed a change in the light below. What began as a vague shadow in the depths rapidly expanded until something truly enormous was heading straight toward her. To understand what happened next, we have to look at the mechanics of the lunge feed, the primary hunting technique of the humpback whale. This diagram shows how the whale accelerates upward with its mouth open wide. By dramatically expanding its lower jaw, the whale acts like a giant scoop, capturing huge amounts of water and prey in a single motion. Before the diver could move, the whale burst upward. Its mouth opened like a giant cave, pulling her inside as the world went completely dark. She had been swept up in a hunting process that does not distinguish between a school of fish and a human diver. Inside the whale's mouth, all physical orientation was gone. She felt only intense pressure and movement as she tumbled in the dark. Panic set in immediately. Trapped and helpless, she believed she was about to be swallowed and killed. However, a humpback whale is physically incapable of swallowing a human being. Look at the scale of the animal's internal anatomy. The mouth is a massive cavern, but it tapers down into a shockingly narrow esophagus. This human silhouette illustrates the problem. The throat only accommodates small fish and krill. A human simply cannot fit through. The outcome was dictated by these rigid evolutionary boundaries, written into the biology of the whale itself. The whale was likely just as confused. Having targeted a school of fish, it accidentally scooped up a massive object it could not swallow. Reacting to the anomaly, the giant animal forcefully shook its head. It rose rapidly toward the surface to clear its mouth of the obstruction. As light began to appear, the diver felt herself moving upward. Moments later, she was thrown back into the ocean. This sudden rejection by the whale physically saved her life, turning a terrifying encounter into a story of survival. Back on the surface, the diver struggled to process what had happened. Nearby witnesses had seen the entire event unfold and rushed to help, though the story seemed almost impossible to believe. Scientists later confirmed that the incident was a rare accident. Whales generally avoid humans and have no interest in eating them. This painting of Jonah represents a cultural archetype that has existed for centuries. When this incident went viral, the internet immediately turned back to this myth for a point of reference. But the diver's experience allows us to separate cultural legend from biological reality. Getting trapped is a documented possibility, but being digested is an anatomical impossibility. The evidence provides a biological explanation for what used to be seen as a supernatural feat, showing how physical limits dictate the rules of the ocean. Millions of people enter the ocean every year, yet cases of someone ending up inside a whale's mouth are extremely uncommon. Still, the event serves as a reminder that no amount of experience can fully control a wild environment. While the giants of the sea are typically peaceful, they remain powerful creatures bound by their own biology, a fact that allowed one diver to survive the impossible.